Hi, I'm here with Tim Kiley, a instructor in mindfulness-based stress reduction, and Tim is going to show us how to mindfully eat chocolate. Tim?
Thanks, Rick. So mindfulness is a way of approaching just about anything we do in our lives, and eating is a pretty important thing that we do. So we'll have a short exercise in how to mindfully eat chocolate. So before we begin, let's imagine that we are space travelers and we've come to a world that we've never seen before. So everything that we find in this new world is new to us. Everything that we see, smell, and taste are things that we've never encountered before. So that's a good attitude with which to approach this exercise, trying to look at everything with fresh eyes and with fresh attention. So we found in our travels this substance, and we don't know what this substance is. So Rick?
Square.
So first, we will we'll basically inspect this unknown substance using all of our senses. So first, without touching it even, try not to pay attention too much to the sensations of touch, but just look at it. Place the object in your hand or hold it between your fingers and just look at it and maybe call out what you notice about this object.
Well, this is rectangular, but you seem to have a square, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so shape is an interesting aspect of this.
And I notice here it says Heys, H-E-Y-S, whatever that means.
Yeah, there's some sort of writing on it. Is there anything you notice about the color or the texture that you can tell just from sight?
Well, it's brown, of course. There's some parts here that are little crinkles, kind of lighter color where it broke, I guess.
And it's shiny. I noticed the way the light falls on it. In some places it can be very shiny.
Okay.
Some places it's dull, and some places it's shiny.
Yeah.
So now let's move to touch.
Okay.
So as you hold this object, what do you notice when you feel it with your fingers?
It sort of feels a little sticky. Kind of, I think it's melting a little bit.
Okay, so there's something about this that causes it to melt, and it is sort of sticky. I notice that it also has sort of a slippery feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
The corners, when I feel the corners, they're not rigid. The
Mm-hmm.
corners sort of fall away as I run my finger over the corners. And now let's move to smell. So just hold the object near your nose and just maybe call out what you notice as you observe the scent of this object.
Well, there's a definite scent. I mean, I really can't place it necessarily. I mean, in terms of like, to describe it in words, flowers, or... Certainly a full, somehow it has a full scent to me. It's not sharp, I think it's round.
Okay, yeah, it's not, that's a good way to put it. I mean, that's your observation. It's not necessarily sweet, but there's a sweetness to it. So
Mm-hmm.
there are definitely, I would say there are layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's see what happens when we begin to taste this object.
Mm-hmm.
But not tasting it right away. First, start to eat it. So what happens when you move your hand to place this object in your mouth, but not going all the way to your mouth? So if we stop right about there, a few feet from the mouth, what do you notice? What sensations do you notice, maybe in the body or in the mind?
Well, you stopped me just before I was going to eat it.
Uh-huh.
That's a little frustration, perhaps.
Okay. And is it hard to find the mouth?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, the hand, when eating, the hand goes right to the mouth. That's a pretty habitual act. Sometimes, right now I kind of notice even a little bit of tension in the arm.
Uh-huh.
I think my arm wants to put it in my mouth. So there's definitely some resistance that I have to apply to stop from putting it in the mouth.
Right.
And now move it a little bit closer, maybe even touching it just to the lip. And what do you notice?
Well, I do feel the pressure. I don't taste it yet. If it's just touching the lip, I don't taste anything.
Can you smell it when you move it close to your lip?
Certainly, I can certainly smell it, yeah.
And is anything else happening in the body?
Well, I just snuck a lick with the tongue there, so...
And was that a habitual act that you weren't intending to?
No, and it doesn't necessarily, it wasn't it's not a full taste when I do that, though. I'm not even...
And I've noticed just now my mouth has started to water just from moving it close to my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and place it in your mouth and try not to chew yet. Maybe just let it sit on your tongue.
A bit.
And what do you notice when it just sits on the tongue?
Melting and attracted to the palate. It sort of seems to go upward.
So it sticks a bit.
It sticks to the palate.
And any other sensations in the mouth? Or?
It's melting and spreading. I mean, there's sweetness, and then I think the odor is in a different place than the sweetness. The odor, I guess, goes up the nose or something like that.
So you're noticing both odor and
flavor and sweetness,
the scent and the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And now go ahead and bite down on it. Try not to chew it, but maybe just one bite. And tell me what you notice as you bite into it.
It gave easily, not a hard nut to crack.
Did it crumble?
No, but molar went right through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone now, pretty much.
Okay.
Except for some residual flavor.
So what was that experience like? We of course knew that it was chocolate, but was there anything that you encountered that was unexpected when you ate chocolate in this very slow, deliberate way?
Well, more of a concentration on the texture, I think, than the flavor, and the melting part, melting in the mouth, and that's kind of fun, actually.
So you said it was more fun, did it change the experience for you?
Well, I don't know if it changed the experience, but certainly it lengthened the experience. Rather than sort of gobbling it up quickly and it's gone, you make a ceremony of it.
Okay.
And there's more here too, so I'll finish this one. And how about yourself?
I will eat mine now that I don't have to talk anymore. It's interesting, I held it in my fingers for so long that there were two very distinct textures. There were parts of it that were still pretty firm, and then parts of it that were almost completely melted. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting, it was almost like eating two different substances because they were so different in texture. And it does taste good after holding it for so long.